Hi, I'm just going to see who joins me for day one. So, this is day one of 7 days in 7 ways and 7 focuses to feel empowered. So, I'm just aware that I didn't actually give you guys a time to join me. I've been outside enjoying the sunshine. So here we are, 7 days in 7 ways. So I know that if you are watching this live, thank you. And obviously it'll be saved to IGTV as well. So you might have seen already, I'm going to go live for the next 7 days where we can together talk about 7 ways, 7 focuses that you can do to feel your most empowered self. So I'm just going to let it send hopefully a message to you guys to see who can join me. Hi Sharon, thanks for joining. And then we'll get started. So I want these to be very short, really short, accessible lives where I'm just going to share some kind of tools and techniques and tips that you can focus on straight away. So over the next 7 days, we're going to be using the acronym EMPOWER. So I think acronym is the right word, where each letter of the word will be a different focus. So I think I've got it right in saying acronym. So today we're going to be focusing on emotions. So this is something that I see in all of my work with my clients and myself, because I'm a human too. You know, as human beings, we are designed to feel a whole range of emotions. Lots of the times, you know, we can suppress our emotions. We have things happen to us where we don't really acknowledge the emotional impact that that's had on us. We can keep on keeping on. We can push those emotions down, we can suppress them, we can kind of bottle things up. Does this sound familiar to you? It's something that I see a lot with my clients, and it's something that I've experienced myself. You know, this idea that, you know, if we allow ourselves to feel, then something's wrong with us. You know, we might get stuck in those emotions, or we kind of just keep on keeping on. We don't allow ourselves to feel. But it is so important to remember, you know, you're just a human being. You are designed to feel a whole range of emotions. I often use the analogy like a rainbow. You know, a rainbow's got many different colours, many different shades. So as human beings, we're designed to feel a whole range of emotions. So the first idea, the first focus to feeling your most calm, confident, empowered self is to focus on your emotional health, is to focus on your emotions. You know, it is so important that we, first of all, pay attention. We start to become aware. We start to pay attention and listen to what are we feeling. So we don't just push that down, because when we start to push things away and when we start to push things down, that's when anxiety is created. So have you heard this phrase before? Avoidance creates anxiety. So I don't know if you've heard that before. If you have, let me know. And if obviously you're watching this on IGTV catch up, let me know as well. Because when we avoid things, that creates that anxious feeling, that creates that anxiety, right? So it's so important to be courageous and to face what we're feeling, you know, in a way where we are honouring our feelings, we're honouring our emotions, we're allowing ourselves to feel those things. And very often what I see anyway, with the work that I do with women, is we can have this fear sometimes that if we allow ourselves to feel, then we think we'll stay stuck, or we'll think we will be so kind of overwhelmed by those feelings that we won't be able to move through them. But in actual fact, the opposite is true. So we won't stay stuck. Everything's temporary. When we allow ourselves to feel fully what's going on, that's our path to healing. You know, we have to feel things to heal them. That is your path to healing. When you allow yourself to feel fully what's going on, that's when you start to feel empowered. That's when you start to take your power back. That's when you start to move through those emotions. We shift through them. And it's remembering that everything is temporary. So, everything is temporary. We can often look for quick fixes, but there aren't any quick fixes. We have to allow ourselves to be courageous. We have to allow ourselves to feel. And it can be scary, but it is so worth it. And I wanted to share something with you that's quite personal to me, but lots of you who are watching the video will know this anyway. So I wanted to share a little bit about my story with what happened to me, so I can kind of relate this and help you make sense of the power of feeling our emotions. So some of you will know that I had an injury where I became temporarily paralysed. So I lost the use of my whole right arm and hand from shoulder to fingertip. And obviously that was a trauma that I experienced. And for a lot of the time, you'll know that I'm so focused on health and well-being and so focused on being proactive. What can we do to support ourselves, and that's definitely a part of my ethos and what I do. So for a long time I was focused on healing physically. I was putting all of my energy, all of my attention onto healing physically, but I hadn't done any healing emotionally. So I hadn't allowed myself to feel the loss. I hadn't allowed myself to feel the grief, or to feel the sadness, or to feel the injustice of it. I hadn't allowed myself to feel any of that. What I'd done instead, like what I was saying to you at the beginning, is kind of push that down, suppress that. I'd kind of kept focused. I'd kept on keeping on and kept focused and was so enrolled, is that the word? My mind was so focused on, okay, how can I start to get this movement back? Because I was obviously wanting to do that. I wanted to get my feeling back. I wanted to get my movement back. But I hadn't allowed myself to feel actually what was going on. And it was only when I was working with my own coach and we had a session, and my coach pointed out to me, Sarah, you've not allowed yourself to feel this. You've not allowed yourself to acknowledge the emotions. You need to give yourself permission. And that's what I did. I remember leaving this office, which is obviously where I had the call, going downstairs and just allowing myself to feel that, and I ended up crying and really feeling into what had actually happened. And I'm saying this to you because it wasn't just half an hour of crying and processing. It's been many months, it's been a journey, but actually that was so powerful. That was really the first step that I took to heal my emotional self. You have to feel it to heal it. The only way out is in, and it can be scary, but it is so worth it because we start to release those emotions, we start to release that hold over us, and that's when we take our power back. So you really allowing yourself to feel all your emotions, so not suppressing things, but allowing yourself to feel them and taking your power back. So I just wanted to share with you a couple of really important things. So I'm just checking in with my notes here. This idea that it's so important to sit in that emotion, so not try to move through it too quickly, but sit in that emotion, honour how you're feeling, so really, really honouring how you're feeling and then moving through it. So we don't want to stay there too long, and you don't want to sit in that too long, but you need to move through that, allowing yourself to move through your emotions. So I just wanted to recap and invite you, whilst you're watching this video today, to reflect and to ask yourself some really key things. So the first question to ask yourself is, where in your life have you been suppressing your emotions? So where in your life have you been suppressing your emotions? What have you not been allowing yourself to feel? So really digging deep and being reflective, being courageous. Where in your life have you not allowed yourself to feel? The next one is, what do I need to allow myself to feel my emotions? And practice giving yourself permission to feel. That is so powerful and so important that you give yourself permission to do that. So I really hope that's been helpful. That's the first focus that I wanted to share this week, which is 7 ways over 7 days to reconnect to your inner power and feel empowered. So the first focus for you is emotions. No longer ignoring them, but actually being courageous and you taking ownership of your emotions so you can feel it to heal it, move through them and take your power back. So thank you for being here. This is hopefully short and sweet. Thank you so much for watching. It means the world. If this has connected with you and you found it helpful, please feel free to share to your stories so we can share this light with those people who need to be here and see it. And as always, send me a direct message and let me know how this has impacted on you. So tomorrow will be the second focus. So it's Tuesday tomorrow and there'll be a second focus for empowerment. So I will let you know the time when that is. Check my stories and I'll see you tomorrow.